more can I say?
Top Billin.
I top Billin. That dude, Ryan Poles, GM of the Chicago Bears, has had a remarkable offseason. This may be one of the better on-paper roster transformations that we've seen, period. Right? Now, don't get me wrong, right? Your boy, Jersey Murf out here in Philly, right? South Jersey, Philadelphia metropolitan area. I believe my Eagles going to go back to the Super Bowl and win that bad boy, but I'm not dumb. I'm not one of these guys, right? I'm one of these dudes who keeps it 100% neutral when I'm behind this microphone, as you guys know from my 10 years now of being a professional football analyst. I will give credit where credit is due. There are some teams in the NFC that are absolutely doing the damn thing, man. Much props to the San Francisco 49ers. Even a team like the Seattle Seahawks doing some really good things, could advance in the playoffs. You got a team like the Atlanta Falcons on the come up, no doubt about that. But, man, the Chicago Bears, did you see their draft? The Chicago Bears may have had the best draft in the entire sport, right? Maybe a 1B, 1C to my Eagles. I like what the Texans did, a couple other teams as well. The Bears, though, man, look at this. I feel like I know all these players somehow, some way. Done studies on them since high school on a lot of these guys right here. You know my favorite pick has to be that number 53 pick right there. Damn, from Baltimore, too. So that's from Roquan Smith trade. So if you would have told me that they would get rid of Roquan Smith to the Baltimore Ravens and then would somehow come up with a Gervon Dexter, my boy Gervon Dexter from them Florida Gators, I'd be like, oh, okay, they're on the right track there. But then you combine him with the Darnell Wright from Tennessee with the top 10 pick, right? I would have to think that he would be a right tackle in the NFL. Darnell Wright is that dude, right? Top 10 pick, 5-star cat coming in like that, lived up to the billing. Look at that. Your boy, the Bully. Remember that? Used to play at the University of Georgia, right? A primary cover on this channel, Tyreek Stevenson. We had those Bully shirts, and we were selling some good amount of shirts right there with the Bully. That guy is extremely physical. Man, he could play a myriad of positions. He went to Miami, made himself out to be a cornerback. He was a nickel defender, a star defender at the University of Georgia, so an inside cornerback. And, man, he can play some safety. He can do any and everything in that secondary. Tyreek Stevenson is a gem. Then Zach Pickens, another 5-star defensive lineman, right? He ends up going in the 3rd round. Zach Pickens, extra talented, man. Him and Gervon Dexter in the same draft. Why? And come on. Look at this right here. Noah Sewell, right? Perhaps my favorite linebacker in the draft. I did a couple of Johns on him during the preseason or during the lead up to the draft. May have to come back and drop a film study. I'm going to drop this Gervon Dexter film study on the tail end of this right after I get through ranting and raving about how great these guys did in the NFL draft. Noah Sewell, definitely one of these guys who can stack and shed blocks. He could be your anchor linebacker, and he doesn't even have to do that. If you see where I'm going next with this, when I look at the overall roster, then you got the cat Travis Bell from Kennesaw State and Kendall Williamson, a cat that I'm familiar with as well. Back when I lived in the state of Georgia, Kendall Williamson at a safety position, an extremely smart player. Good to see that cat made the NFL, man. Much love to you, Kendall. I remember doing his commitment. I did like a commitment drawing for him, one of those Photoshop edits and everything like that. I know that cat Kendall Williamson, man. I would not be surprised at all if he made the team even as a 7th round draft pick. All right, y'all, before I reprise this film study on Gervon Dexter that I previously did, I want to look at the overall depth chart because this shit is incredible. You add in those guys that I just said there, those rookies, with this particular roster here, right? This is a nasty makeover. Now, listen, your boy's never been the biggest Justin Fields fan out there, right? If you've been at this channel for any amount of time, you would know that, especially before the draft. But you would also know that I covered that man since he was in high school, covering the University of Georgia for Rivals.com. And listen, I know his skill set like the back of my hand. I said he was going to need some seasoning when he got into the NFL because he wasn't as far along as people were saying he was. And I think that proved itself to be correct. Not to say that Justin Fields isn't uber talented. I said that before. A lot of talent. He's going to have to cultivate that and change some things there. Hopefully he's on the way to doing that, because people are saying that he didn't have the talent around him. But remember, prior to the draft, they said he was the guy who would elevate talent around him, very similar to what Lamar Jackson does, right? Justin Fields, not necessarily. However, if he needs some talent, he's got it. DJ Moore, my boy from Philly, from out here on the damn Chicago Bears now after killing it in Carolina and with the University of Maryland. DJ Moore is that dude. He can make it from scratch. You can hand him reverses. You can throw him swings and screens. He can get downfield, break tackles with the best of them. He can do it all. DJ Moore is exactly who a Justin Fields needs. Combine that with a Darnell Mooney and a Chase Claypool, right? They have EQ St. Brown out there as well, right? So you got that Notre Dame connection with those big receivers there. And come on. Cole Kmet, if he was on a team like the Baltimore Ravens that really target the tight end like that, Cole Kmet would be a household name. He has some dudes to throw to. Even the Tyler Scott cat that they got from Cincy was putting in work there. And Velus Jones, the running back position, man, shit. My boy from them Hokies, Khalil Herbert, still in the game. That boy is explosive as all get out. Now you have Deontay Foreman, another big cat that's explosive. All right, a lot more explosive than the David Montgomery. He can hit home runs from anywhere. You bring in a Roshan Johnson from Texas. You got Travis Homer as a do-it-all guy, special teams cat from the Seattle Seahawks. But it's going to be all about that offensive line. So outside of Darnell Wright, it has to remain to be seen. Boy, your boy Tevin Jenkins was all the rage before his draft. Same thing with Cody Whitehair and these guys. So we shall see what they did there. But man, y'all know what I'm about here. That defense. Jesus. Obviously, you know your boy a Penn State fan, so Jaquan Brisker stands out to me. He putting in mad work. I knew he was going to be the truth. You put him next to Eddie Jackson, one of the best safeties in the game, one of the most underrated players in the game. Come on, more people need to talk about your boy Eddie Jackson. You know they doing the damn thing with Jalen Johnson and Kyler Gordon at the cornerback position. When they played my Eagles, man, it was that defense that was giving Jalen Hurts trouble, right? He played one of the worst games that he had played this season against Chicago. That defense was off the chain, and they just gone out and upgraded. You took T.J. Edwards from my Philadelphia Eagles, right? That hurts right there. He's definitely can anchor your defense right there from the second level, but you put him with another Hokie, my man Tremaine Edmonds. You told me you would end up with Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards after losing Roquan Smith. Good night. Good night. We'll see what that pass rush is like, but I said before, man, adding in Zach Pickens and Gervon Dexter, along with a DeMarcus Walker, that cat was the truth at FSU. He was showing himself a little bit last year as well. Andrew Billins and these guys. So, hey, it's going to be what they do up front, man. And your boy, Gervon Dexter. Woo-wee. Man, let's get to it. Jersey Murf in the building. I think he could probably play his best ball at more like 305 pounds, 300 pounds. But, man, check this out right here. Look at this dude getting up, cocking it back. What? This is your 5 technique in 8th grade, dunking like this, man. What we doing? Look at this. Oh! Check this out. Yaka. Man, going behind the neck and everything, man. Come on now. This dude is a phenomenal athlete at 6'6" and some change, over 305 pounds. All right, here we go. Scheme-specific fit. You can see him right here at a 5 technique in this 3-4 for Florida. And that right there just translate right over to what he's doing, so he would already be familiar with that. Put him at a 5 technique. You can put him and reduce him down. Way down here on sub package as well. I'm not even so sure that he couldn't, in a pinch, play standing up. He's that good of an athlete, man. But if you see right here, he's rarely blown off the snap. That's what he does. You talk about 2-gapping, having the ability to play with an even exchange situation, right? You coming out to snap your offensive lineman, you want to blow him off the ball, pause, and you ain't doing that. He normally just stays right there, or he's pushing you into the lap, right? He establishes the line of scrimmage where he wants to. You can see my man right there getting his shirt lapels, right, dug into, right? He's struggling. And he keeps that hand free, and he's able to corral the ball carrier right there. All right, same kind of deal right here. You can see how he's working his B gap and assisting with the A gap by keeping that head on the outside. Watch this. Head on the outside, stack and share, right? Wall and discard those blocks. You wall it off and discard it. This is the perfect example of walling and discarding. You can see how the offensive lineman turned here, right, to really kind of create that angle. Dexter keeps his head on the outside, keeps that foot in that particular gap. He's ready for that gap. Running back decides to shoot it right behind this. I believe this is a lead, yeah. Get a G lead right here. So the guard here is going to climb up to the second level here. So he has to assist with that A gap to make sure it's all good, and he does that. You see him discard the block, right? See that right there, right? Realigning that man's spine. The chiropractor is back right here. Look at that. Oh, nasty. But check this out right here. You can see even the guy that they have right here at a shade, right, or playing a 2-eye, kind of gets displaced right there, and he's out of the play, right? Still can't even get back into the play. But you see how they do Dexter right here. I think even if it was him that was getting blocked like that, he's just going to stand his ground. He's on the stand your ground law, no doubt about that. You can see him assisting right there. That is what your team needs. Now look at him, head up, right, playing at the nose. And look at him pop this dude's head up the top like Jack in the Box, like my man 50 Cent said. Come on, man. Look at this. You got this guy. He understands exactly what to do. He has a game plan right here. Look at the base width right here. Look at him sink and bend those knees. Get up under a man right there and look at him. Stretch him out. Stretch the center out. The center right here, my man Cooper Mays was about 6'2" or something like that. Stretched him out to about 6'8". Right, elongated his spine right there. You can see him still with that head on the outside, covering this particular gap right here. And he will simply discard whichever way that back is going. And he does exactly that. Back on the nose again in the 3-4. Watch this. Look at him drive mix daisy to the lap of the quarterback and get to the quarterback with that hustle play. A blue collar sack right here. Could have been a white collar sack had Hendon Hooker not detached from the pocket here, but you can see him with the drive right here. Look at him driving Miss Daisy. My man is unable to sink those mud hooks in, right? Mud hooks are straight scraping the grass right there. Super collapses the pocket, but still stays in that 50-50 exchange stance to where he can detach himself and chase down Hendon Hooker. Here we go right here, shaded. Watch him stay parallel to the line of scrimmage. Look at him walk the dog. Oh, that's hard. Right, you walk the dog, you're walling this entire thing off. Staying parallel to the line of scrimmage here, not getting blown off the snap. He's shuffling, damn near shuffling, right, to stay parallel to the line of scrimmage. He keeps the lineman right here. You can see the lineman, he's slightly concussed. He got slightly concussed from trying to block Gervon Dexter right there. Eyes rolling in the back of his head and everything like that. But you can see right there, he makes sure that there's no organic crease for the running back to cut. Still stays with that 50-50 exchange situation style, and then gets in on the front right there. That's some good ass work right there. Stand parallel to the line of scrimmage. See those crossover steps right there. Stand parallel. While you get some people, right, they start turning their entire body or get taken out the play, right? Jeremiah Moon here. But nah, he's staying parallel. He just understands exactly what to do. Has a nice skill set going against the rush. All right, last one right here on this section. Look at this. Oh, my man tries to get low and gets choke slammed. Now you see why I used to call that man the Undertaker. What? My man going extremely low right here. Was that Emil Ekio, I want to say? Going extremely low on Gervon Dexter right here. Now look at the spread eagle on him right there. Look at the base width. Look at the ability to bend. You saw that basketball background and the dexterity that man has and the agility. Look at him get up under him and then takes him for, what's the Undertaker, the last ride? Took that man for the last ride, bent him over, choke slammed him, and then made the play on the running back. Get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. You can't say that this dude wouldn't be absolutely perfect. Like I said earlier, it really reminds me of one Chris Jones right here. My man Chris Jones, same deal right here. Look at him. Body snatch, wall and discard. He in there like swimwear. Same exact measurements, very similar stat line, both coming out of the SEC there. Gervon Dexter, way more heralded coming out of high school than Chris Jones, though. And I believe Chris Jones may have been a second-round pick. So maybe a guy like Gervon Dexter flies under the radar, and you can get him with the 31st pick. That shit would be tremendous. I would still double up, but we can talk about the number 10 pick. Let's attach him to the 31st pick with this one, right? Just cause, all right? And I'll come back, talk about the 10th pick right at another time. But look at this right here, man. Straight same deal right here. Last riding the guard right here, right? Guard, right? Yeah, last riding the guard right here. You see him peeking on the inside right there. He understands that he can get that head on the inside, get that arm loose, use a little bit of inside shoulder force there. He can be able to wall and discard right there. He gets to the ball carrier first. He's a first responder, all EMT team right there, but he's on the line of scrimmage. Nasty. Remember, you see Jones here coming from a 3 or a 5 technique because they have a guy like Saunders who could play on the nose. You see them right here and more, I believe, in a nickel situation in their lighter packages here. But normally you will put Saunders on the nose. So same deal with Gervon Dexter. You play him next to big Jordan Davis. You got big 340-pound Jordan Davis or whatever he is in a 600 yeah, about 600 pounds worth of interior defensive lineman just with those two guys. But 312 or 13-pound Gervon Dexter next to that dude, come on, man. There's your run defense. But look at Chris Jones right here. Same deal. Look at the quickness. Oh, my goodness. That quickness is outstanding right there. Gervon Dexter definitely has that in his arsenal as well. But look at this. Slap, chopped his ass, burped the baby, right? He burped the baby, slapped him on his back, my man right there, right? What's that shit called? Colic or some shit like that? He ain't got it no more, right? Right on the ball carrier, gets ass, balls, and you see it right there. So, see, look at Chris Jones. He came out as a junior as well at Mississippi State. He only had 8.5 total sacks in 3 seasons. 18 tackles for loss, 102 tackles, and all that jazz right there. Now look at him, right? He entered the league at 2 sacks, 6.5, and he notched 15.5 sacks, 9, 7.5, 9, and then 15.5 again this year. He has 65 sacks after having, 8.5 in college in 3 years? Do not do that. Don't look at Gervon Dexter's college production and think that will be his NFL production, right? Obviously, we don't know. Maybe it could be that way, but don't limit him to just his college production because it was the way he was schemed up and they put him on the nose a lot and they expected him to really anchor that rushing defense. So that was the most important thing for them. They had guys who can get after the passer a little bit on the edges, but they really needed him to kind of anchor that run game and solidify that. So you let him.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.